All right, good morning. Welcome to Educators Drinking Coffee. I'm Assistant Principal Castillo. It is March 11th. This is crazy how fast this year has gone. We're coming up to the end of the third quarter, and it's just crazy how fast this year has blown by. So I'm here drinking coffee today. Simple. I actually have Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I'll be honest. I've really never been a huge fan of Dunkin' Donuts coffee. It's. But good morning, Mr. Stanley. How you doing? But I don't know. This one actually tastes halfway decent today. It's got cream and sugar. I wanted something beside. Good morning, Mr. Spencer. How you doing? So, anyways, today just trying to get. We got through some testing yesterday from the fall. We still have it a couple more dates. We got through the second round of ACT testing, and students. There's still about between 30 and 35 of you juniors that have not taken the ACT. Guys and girls, it's really important you really look to take this test. You never know when if your mind changes that you want to go to college. Good morning, Lacey. Um, and you never know if you know after you graduate high school 5 years down the road you want to attend college, and it's a great indicator. It can also help you not have to take remedial courses depending on how you do. um, and it really kind of really is for your own judgment to see how you're doing, how you would be capable of handling good morning, Trinica, college level work. So that is done. We are working to possibly have a third opportunity for you 30, 35 juniors who missed the first two to take it on March 23rd. I will hopefully confirm that by the end of tomorrow, and you will be getting an email that the 30 or 35 of you are just automatically signed up, and we're going to be expecting you to come. So we're looking at that next month, and there's also going to be another round of the fall semester testing that needs to be complete. So that'll be good. Um, got through a tough week last week with the passing of Troy Vaughn. Really appreciated everybody that came out to show some love for Troy Vaughn and his family. So thank you all. Those of you that joined us live, shared your comments. Awesome. I appreciate it. Some of you that did the word, the answer garden, I appreciated. Really just really showed what Troy Vaughn was all about. Yeah, Trinika, I know you miss school. We all miss school, and we miss you too. Listen, I had to make my own coffee today. I'm not used to that. I used to like, you knew exactly how I like my coffee. Do you still remember how many creams and sugars? But anyways, today I wanted to talk a little bit. Hopefully, I have somebody joining me later on this morning, and then we're going to talk a little bit about. And some of you don't know, but my background is actually in art. As a former art teacher at elementary and then high school, and I'm all for the arts. And one thing I actually, and I apologize to all these students, but earlier in the year, in October, which is Hispanic Heritage Month, Mr. Lee and some of his students did something for me. We created a virtual art gallery. You remember. And never got a chance to really showcase that. So I wanted to kind of showcase that today a little bit, and some of the wonderful things that Mr. Lee and Dr. Hill were able to do with some of their students. So right now I'm going to switch it up to kind of project that a little bit, and I'll kind of talk through it. So let me add this here, and I guess I'm going to take myself. No need for you guys to see me. It's better for you guys to see actually put both of us here. Morning, Mr. Lee. How you doing?
Good. How's everything?
Good. I was just telling the audience here just oh, they said they weren't hearing anything. Oh my gosh, I apologize. Well, I apologize, Lace. The next part really we'll be able to kind of talk through and you can kind of shed some light into it. But I was telling the audience here, this is a presentation I never had an opportunity, and I apologize, to show it during Hispanic Heritage Month. So I was taking an opportunity now to show it. So just showing the little first video, introduction video.
Okay.
But I'm going to go on to the next room and talk about our virtual gallery. So here we have 2 works of art. We'll go to this first one. And maybe you can talk a little bit about the student and, you know, and there's a little description of what they did.
Right. What I asked the students to do was create some type of artwork for Spanish Heritage Month. And Destiny Rosas did this painting here. She is of Spanish heritage, so it just tells a little bit. And I like my students a lot of times to give a little artist statement about the artwork that they do, you know, where they're coming from, what their ideas were behind it, what they were thinking of with colors, and, you know, things like that. So more than likely, everyone is going to have like a small little description or artist statement.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And actually, for me, this rings a bell because this is, you know, based a little bit of one of the customs called quinceañera, which is when celebrating, you know, a girl's 15th birthday. It's kind of like the U.S. version of, you know, Sweet 16. And my daughter's coming up to that now. So, yeah, that's coming up in May. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. Not, she's growing up too fast. So,
so you'll be getting out of the house sooner, though, right?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know if I want that.
No, so, I know. I was talking with a student the other day about she said that her mother wanted her to stay with her in her house until she was like 21. And I said, all mothers say that. My mother would probably want me still living with her if she could.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. I mean, when it comes to the Spanish culture, and I guess I'm only going to speak about Colombians in general, usually you don't leave the house until you're ready to get married.
Okay.
People make fun of me. Or like me and my brother, we lived in our house till my brother's 4 years older. So he moved out around 28 years old and I moved out about the same time. And it's crazy, but there was no need for me to leave home. I have a great relationship with my parents, you know, still being responsible, and it worked out. But in Colombia, it's generally that way. You know, once you're ready to get married, and that's around the time you start moving out. But let's see, who's this other artist?
Oh, this is Sarah Pereza. This one here, she did more of a painting with more of like she was going in the idea of a stylistic approach to Hispanic Heritage Month, with the colors, with the you know, the dark areas, almost a red, yellow degrees, blacks and whites, and you're almost, you know, pulling from maybe some of the different flags there were in you know, in South America and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those bright, bold colors really, and you know, that flower is definitely, I would say, somewhat synonymous with Spanish culture and you know, some of the patterns they put in there. And I think Sarah here did a great job with that. All the girls did. Or I don't know. I don't even know, actually. Can't remember if it's all, you know, girls or not. Oh,
I think all this was I think it is girl power. I think all the artists, I'm not joking. All the artists, I think, in this presentation here are all young ladies.
Yeah. And I said, so we go through virtual gallery. So here's another one here. Emily Stevens.
Oh yeah, Emily Stevens. She's another one of my painters. She actually wanted to depict a scene during maybe like a festival or parties, or, you know, some of the activities they might be doing during Hispanic Heritage Month, and you get that little bit of an old world cobblestone feel, and you have the different flags.
It is. It is. I can definitely relate to this one. You know, back home, you know, you got a lot of Spanish colonial styles. You have the they're called, what are they called?
Is this a scene that harkens you back to something, or you're like, oh yeah, this happens in neighborhoods and things like that?
Without a doubt, in neighborhoods.
Okay.
And now it's a combination of where I come from, because the city where I'm from is the size of Chicago, about 3.5 million people.
Okay.
But there's only so much landmass. So what's happened throughout the years is, you know, probably up to the 1950s or 60s, it was all what we would say one level story houses, you know, few 2-story for, you know, people who had, you know, higher incomes. But throughout the years, as the population has grown, there's nowhere to grow but up. So all you see is buildings and, you know, at least 2-3-story buildings. And many times, especially during the holidays, you see a lot of, maybe not so much the flags, but definitely decorations across, you know, from balcony to balcony. And if you live in a small little kind of cul-de-sac, this is what you see. I mean, you go in there and it's just awesome. I mean, it's really a family. That's what the sense I get from this one. It's the sense of family, community. But it reminded me, there's actually a song that I listened to by, I think he's Puerto Rican artist, Mark Anthony, who was married to Jennifer Lopez, and another group called Gente de Zona, which it talks about. It's funny because I see all the flags about the Hispanic, you know, community. Be proud, you know, raise your flag. It's funny because I was listening to it just yesterday morning, and when I saw this today, it really depicts that. I think that song. So it's awesome.
Very cool. Because she did do some. She told me she talked about doing some research into the Hispanic culture and things like that, and this is kind of her idea she got from all of her research.
No, she did. All of them have done a great job. This one, actually, there's something about it that really draws it to me. Maybe it's in simplistic form, and probably because I see the Colombian flag in there.
Yeah, there you go.
Right here. but no, it's I really like it. It's, you know, it's just one focus, but it just encompasses so many cultures together. So this
absolutely, absolutely. Jayla Davis, she's another. She's you see, most of these are my seniors, so I'm going to be losing them this year to graduation. But this young lady, she's been working really hard over the last few years with her paintings and things like that, and she's getting more of a she's finding herself a little bit. And I really like this in the sense of it being it is simplistic in form, but you can see all the different flags. You've got those bright colors. You have the woman, you know, wearing this dress. It's beautiful. She's very proud to. I can see this dress she's very proud to be wearing this dress. She is, you know, showing off her Hispanic heritage, and it's just a bright, colorful painting that just pulls you in somehow.
Yeah, it does. And, you know, and definitely there was research behind it because, you know, as you look at the details, she talks about the representation of the colors and what they mean.
Yes.
So kudos. And you know, as you know, again, as a former art teacher and you as an art teacher, you know, that's almost the next level when students are able to kind of depict images is, you know, what's the thought behind it, you know?
Right. And one of the big things that I've been talking about this year with my students, especially my Art 4 students, 3 and 4, how do you want the world to view you as an artist, basically? You know, it's not just about, you know, oh, I'm doing a beach scene because I like the beach or whatever, but what are you putting into your paintings? What do you want the viewer to get out of it? You know,
experience out of it. You know, I mean, yeah, you're right. Here's another one.
Oh yes, another one. Grace. Grace Lee. Everyone
Yeah.
calls her my daughter. She's been asked about me. Actually, I didn't realize this the other day. We were talking in class, and before she even got to high school, students at the middle school were asking her if I was her father. And it's just funny how, and then it's kind of evolves from there, little jokes and stuff like that about us being, father and daughter.
Yeah.
And in this one here, it's almost another form of the painting we just saw. It's a young woman, and I like how she didn't put any details into the face, so many people can put themselves in this situation.
I agree.
Yes. The colors in the background, the cactus, the sand dunes, the things like that. It looks like a very traditional outfit that this young lady's wearing. Her face is kind of like almost looking down in like a demure way. I mean, I guess we could talk about this painting for hours if we really wanted to, and I don't even know if she meant to do that, tell you the truth, but more than likely she did, just because the way we've been working and talking for the last, few years. So.
And then her line, there's some lines there that are so delicate that just work well with the figure, and then the boldness of the cactus, really stands, because cactus, again, whether she intended or not, cactus are very durable, very strong, plants. I don't know if they're plants, trees, to be honest with you. But then here's this figure who's very kind of, with these delicate lines. It's just great contrast. Again,
right. And the thing is, we think of cactus here as, just cactus or a plant or something you see in your yard that, you get stickers from. But cactus in many parts of the world is a food item.
Mm-hmm.
That's that true. Boldness, or maybe she was also trying to suggest that, this is part of this young lady's culture, and it's not just supposed to just be in the background. She's just making it much larger than life or whatever.
Yeah. Creating more significance. I agree. All right. Now, this one also I saw was really cool just because of how different, that she went about,
Right. So this is another young lady, Sierra Rice. She's in the 11th grade, so she'll be back next year, and she's actually part of my the art club here at the school. And she actually, this is a I guess a knitting. And I'm not going to say the name because I'm not going to get it messed up. But her face, she has Hispanic. She is part of the Hispanic heritage. She has Hispanic heritage in her family. So this right here, I think, is even more like from the soul itself of herself. Mm-hmm. Even more so than maybe a painting or something like that, because, she's taking it from, her family. Mm-hmm. She's given a little bit of background about her family.
Yeah, no, this is, and this is really cool. And it's called Papel Picado. And I guess part of it was inspired, by the movie Coco. And I think she's, according to the little description here, and it's really cool. It's just, art is about symbolism. It's about the process. It's about how you go about it. And typical, it's made out of paper, but she went about it and doing it more organically, and that's just a great. And it's all about experience, trial, and coming across. So very cool.
And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of all this craziness that's going on, but Sierra, she's using this. She's crocheting here and using her art, showing her art through crocheting. I also have another young lady who's actually doing the same thing. She's knitting, and she just, recently brought it, wore a sweater that she made. And I'm like,
Wow.
that's fantastic. I thought she bought it, but she was like, hey, you like my sweater? I was like, yeah, it looks great. Where'd you get it from? She's like, I made it. I was like, what?
That's awesome. I wish I could say that.
Yeah.
And then we go back here. Oh, we go to the next room. And now these is because we put on. I think I put them last, or we put them last, so they're definitely a little different. So,
yes. Arlenis, she has Hispanic heritage, and I've been pushing her. She really, 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 she came to us 2 years ago from another school, and I sat down with her. She showed me a couple things. She wasn't really into the introductory projects that I have and paintings and things like that she's that I normally have my art ones and things do. So I basically sat her to the side and, had some discussions with her, and come to find out her former art teacher was just a little too strict. In my opinion, wouldn't let her do things, trying to, control more of what they were doing. Whereas I could teach anybody, I can work with whatever style. I don't want everybody to paint like I do, or, because then we'd have a world full of, Mr. Lee painters or whatever. All the paintings would be the same. So, but anyway, long story short, she's really blossomed in her work, and she really, really, really has put a lot into like value, learning. This is very almost impressionistic in a way, with a little bit of Pablo Picasso thrown in there, and there's all kinds of different things. But one thing that she's really, really, really into is, learning the human form, learning value, learning the early lessons, so she could put things into something like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I always tell the students, I said, you got to learn the rules before you break the rules.
Yeah.
Because you can always tell when something's off, and you're like, why is it like this? But then you look at something where people know the rules about something, and then it's off. But then you say, oh, it works. It looks good.
Yeah.
There's a reason why somebody, has big hands, or whatever, long fingers, everything else seems to be out of proportion just a little bit. And this one I put in just because of Arlenis's background. She's Hispanic.
Yeah. No, and she actually, she went about it, I think, also very different than the others. She went to the more kind of maybe obscure part of sometimes the Hispanic culture, which, and here she alludes to the Santeria and the voodoo kind of stuff that you do sometimes see in some areas.
Right.
And it's a little macabre, but, it is part of it, the whole Hispanic culture. And it definitely, she wanted us to get curious about what we saw and try to analyze every little thing. And I think she did a great job at doing that. And I tell you, one of my favorite things that I like about it is, many times I've done backgrounds like this where you just, blend in different colors. But
right.
I love how she used kind of like that stitching to connect them. There's something, I don't know why, that I love that. Like in the upper left-hand corner, you can kind of see the little stitching coming across, and it's not everywhere, just in certain areas, and it's stronger. And I don't know why, but it just draws me, like, I think of Frankenstein. I think it's really cool. Things like that. So, it really, really, really great job. And like I said, just how different she went about it. So let me see. And then this one kind of reminds me a little bit of the other one that we saw.
Yes, this is this is Madeline Stevens. This is the young lady I was just talking about learning how to crochet or knit. Gotcha. She's the one that, that wore the sweater in and everything like that. And this is another one that, she did a little bit of research, and it's almost like a street scene during festival. This one here has more of like, colorful flags or little maybe lanterns or something up there, pulling out the bright colors once again to give that, that idea of a festival type of scene.
Yeah, and the figure just looks to be. I mean, I love the art. It really looks like she's really waving that, her skirt, how they do it, and you can just see, like we just captured her in that moment, right in the crescendo, I guess, of her waving.
Absolutely, and that's one thing. And I guess it's getting through. I mean, what I talk to them about and share with them, that to try to bring emotion or something like that to their paintings rather than just have something there. Even the painting that had Sarah's painting with the flowers and leaves and things like that. Even that had a certain amount of flair to it and emotion and things like that. So
you're right. I mean, the line in it creates such movement that it just kind of draws you in everywhere. That is awesome. These ladies did an amazing job. And see what I know you're like, oh no, I don't want to be part of this, but that is cool, man. I love your background.
That was me at the beginning of the year.
That was you at the beginning.
Now look at it. Look at that different. So, yeah.
Oh, is that NSU? Is that Norfolk?
Oh, that's Norfolk State University. I went to Norfolk State University and I ran track there for a couple years. I was a pole vaulter. And did a couple things, have some trophies and stuff like that. But anyway, it's not then after that I came down here and started teaching.
I hear you, man. I hear you. All right, let me kind of remove this here, so it's just you and me. Well, I appreciate it. Gotta say hi. Buenos dias, madre. My mom just kind of showed.
Can't wait to see you.
Yeah. Oh, she's gonna be here. Actually, they're coming in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. We talked about that. Maybe I'll come see her, or she'll come to school, see where you work.
Yeah. But cool.
But she's been here before, hasn't she? Like, has she been to the school?
I don't know if actually she's been to the school. I may have to organize my office a little bit. She's gonna get mad at me, but. But cool. No. Now in Monday's broadcast, we talked about, we couldn't understand what YAM was. So I know we only have a few more minutes left, but if you can.
We'll just talk real quick about it. I mean, it's Youth Art Month. That's just a little quick acronym, YAM, Youth Art Month. And March is Youth Art Month. So my art club is putting together a little Google slideshow talking about Youth Art Month. And then what I'd like to get out there, I don't know how many people are watching or anything like that, but we're going to do a school-wide art contest for Youth Art Month. We'll have it for art students, like Art 1 students, okay? You can put your work in and we'll put it out there for people to vote. Art 2, Art 3, Art 4, ceramics. But then I'm also going to open it up to non-art students.
Cool.
So the rest of the school can participate. If you're 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade and you've never really been in any art classes or you couldn't get in any art classes, you can give me your artwork and I'll put it out there. And then I might also do one, and I will not participate in this, but it's going to be one in a little art contest for the teachers.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You never know. There might be some teachers that do their thing. You never know. There might be some crocheters out there. You never know what their blankets and things might look like.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yep.
Well, Mr. Lee, we're coming up to 8:30. You got class, and I have a meeting. So I appreciate so much your company this morning, showing us your students. I appreciate all the great work you've done, and please let me know if you want to use up whenever our students are ready to showcase that. We'll definitely do it here.
All right, that sounds good. We'll definitely will. All right, I'll talk to you later.